Welcome back, Awakened Souls. Today's topic is a question from a viewer who said, now I talked about problems and challenges and our perception of them and all that in a couple of videos already, but I wanted to address this particular part of this viewer's question. She said, I love the idea of just taking it easy, having fun, and spreading joy around the world, yet I find it a little bit difficult to maintain this perspective when earthly matters begin to occupy more of my time, such as paying bills, finding meaningful work, etc. I don't know how to transcend this toward a more positive direction that doesn't involve so much stress and worry. I talked about transcending what we perceive as challenges, and rightfully so, because that's how we experience it, right, as challenging or whatever. So I talked about that in a couple of other videos, so I won't go into that here. What I wanted to share here was what I said to her in response. I said, when there seems to be a lot going on, rather than joy, bliss, fun, perhaps it may be easier to reflect more on the possibility of well-being or simply just feeling okay about life. More of a sense of calm in the midst of whatever is arising. And I wanted to share a little bit about that from my own perspective. You guys may or may not have noticed, but and it's also one of the reasons that I walked away from my old YouTube channel of thousands of subscribers over to this channel where it's just us, a little cozy corner, which I'm actually enjoying very much. I experienced this radical shift in my being, in my energy. You guys have seen me in the hyped up, fun, high, joyful, and many of you have communicated with me that how much you loved that aspect of me, right? I'm always having fun. I'm always, celebrating life and feeling all of that, right? And dancing, you all saw me dance on screen with music and having a blast and all that, right? But in the last couple of months, my energy has shifted, and for about 2.5 years, I would say, maybe 3, maybe 2.5, last 2.5, 3 years, I was in a constant high. Like it's rarely a day would go by where I'm like, let's have some fun, let's do this, let's do that, in my own life, right? Let me go do this, let me go have fun doing this, let me dance, and rarely a day went by where I wasn't blasting music and dancing and like having an amazing time. And in the last 2 months, right around the time where I was feeling like I don't want to be on this YouTube channel anymore, my old YouTube channel, where I felt this radical shift in my being and my energy and my frequency. I was experiencing higher states of consciousness. My awareness was expanded. I was having more and more conversations with my divine team. I was just expanding in so many ways. And not that your heightened states of bliss and joy have to change at all, but for me, in the last couple of months, that high that I was on went. And what I'm experiencing right now is this calmness and sometimes before I shoot a video, I'm having this beautiful conversation with my divine team. And when I turn the camera on, you guys will sense a very mellow kind of energy when I'm creating the video. And sometimes that's what happens when I'm tuning into my divine team for a little bit before I actually turn on the camera. My energy feels more mellowed out. Not always. Sometimes I'm with my divine team and I'm just as high energy, Then sometimes just the love that I'm feeling from my divine team just kind of swallows me up, and it just feels like I'm in this much more mellow state. Even thinking about it gets me there. Even thinking about it gets me there. So the reason I'm shooting this video is to say, joy in life isn't always hyped up. I feel joy, but in a very calm way now. I feel very serene, I just feel this calm over my life. I feel this serenity, just quietness. I'm becoming much more sensitive to energy, which wasn't something I experienced before. So I don't want you all to misinterpret awakening as and equating it with heightened states of bliss and high and joy and, you know, all this heightened energy, high energy kind of experience. And let's go have some fun. I want to look for fun, you know. That could be it too. I feel like life is fun now, but in a calm way, you know. And you can experience bliss in a calm way. You can experience joy in a energy of serenity, you know. So even though that's how it played out in my life for 2.5 years, I'm in the place right now where I can't even listen to the music that I used to listen to. I really don't have a desire to dance per se. That kind of dissipated as well. Nothing wrong with any of those things. I'm just in a very different place in my awakening journey right now. Is the feisty, upbeat Allison still there? I'm pretty sure she is. I'm pretty sure she is. But more and more of my day feels more in this serenity, calm state. So I don't want you guys to misinterpret awakening as you suddenly move into this heightened state of joy and bliss and fun and you're dancing and high energy. And, you know, that's just me. That was my expression of my awakening and how it affected my life. But I have always been an upbeat, feisty person, you know, so when I awakened, the volume went up on my excitement, and I'm just an excitable person, and I love having fun, and I love laughter, and, you know, joking around, and humor, and comedy. I mean, that's me. That's how this expression was built, okay? Even when I was a child, I was like that way. I tell the story to a couple of friends of mine that my grandfather on my mother's side, the minute I walked into the room, his nickname for me was Pepper Sauce. Okay, none of y'all better call me that. Because I was like fire, you know, fire. Wherever I go, I was just fire, okay? And that was his nickname for me. And so when I shed all of the societal norms and the religious dogma that was cramping me for many years, when I shed all of that, it's like the Allison that was 8 years old came back out. You know, like the Allison that was like running around the room and I was the child that was running around the house singing the whole day, you know. And that part of me like busted out when I let go of all the paradigms and societal norms and the constricting things. In my awakening, that side of me blossomed. Like I became this feisty, high energy 8-year-old again, you know? And that part of me is still there. Yet at the current time, in the last couple of months, I've been experiencing much more of a somber state, you know, much more, not somber and sadness or anything, but just mellow is probably a better word, a much more of a mellow state. So I just wanted to respond to that aspect of this person that was posting. When you're in those constricting places and those places of a lot of contrast in your life, which your soul came here to explore, some of you that may be experiencing like this person stress and worry and trying to find meaningful work and paying the bills and all of these human things, you know, when you're there, perhaps it's more appropriate, maybe that's not the right word, but maybe it's more appropriate to just feel a little bit better, you know, just ask yourself, rather than saying, how can I find heightened states of bliss and fun, you know, put that aside for a minute and just say, what can I do to allow myself to feel a little bit more confidence, a little bit more hopefulness, right? A little bit more loved, a little bit more cared for by my divine team, by my angelic realm? What can I do to allow myself to feel a little bit more of that? You know, that may be a better question than how can I find fun, bliss, high, you know, high energy, joy, and that kind of thing. And some people are very kind of introverted, and that's their nature, and they'll never express themselves like I did on camera, dancing, you know, like I did on my old channel. That may not be them at all. It's not their expression, you know, that's not who they naturally are, you know. So I don't want you all to misunderstand, you know, what you can feel in the midst of what we perceive as troubling times. Or contrast is probably a better word, is contrast. When you're in the midst of contrast, where you're thinking about paying the bills and thinking about caring for yourself and finding a job, or, you know, trying to find work and that kind of thing, just make your way back to that sense of well-being, you know. Don't look for the party, not necessarily. I mean, you can, but you can just be in that place of that beautiful sense of well-being, feeling cared for, connecting with your divine team, your guides, your angelic realm. You have divine beings that decided to come be in this human expression with you, in this human incarnation with you, and you can tap into that, you know. And we forget that we can tap into that at any time. And one of the things that I want to share is that you can literally look to your divine team and ask, can you guys send me the energy of confidence? Can you guys send me the energy of love? Can you guys send me the energy of well-being? And be open to receiving it, because if you're not open to receiving it, you're not going to feel it. They're sending you that without you asking anyway. But when we're in a place of stress and worry, we cannot receive it, you know. So you have to move outside of the stress and worry. Remember who you truly are. Remember that this is just a skit. This is just a little play that we came to pretend in for a while. Our lives on planet Earth is that. You may not feel like it is, because it feels freaking real when you're in the contrast, right? It does feel very real when you feel fear, when you feel, it feels very real. But in whatever way, even ask your divine team, can you guys just help me to remember the eternalness that I am? Can you help me to remember the divinity of who I truly am? And you can ask for that, you know, in those moments where the party doesn't feel like an option, you know. You can ask for, can you just help me to feel loved? Can you just help me to feel, can you send me the energy of hope? Can you send me, and they will send it to you. They will send that energy to you. There are times when I have been sitting with my divine team playing with the energy, right? And I would say, send me the energy of love. And I'll say, turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. And I go, okay, it's too high. Because I'll feel like my eyes welling up with tears because I'm feeling so much love, you know. And our human physical form cannot contain the level of love we feel when we're outside of human form. So sometimes it's too high, and I often am in tears when I'm connecting with my divine team anyway. But when I am playing with them and playing with the energy of love and asking them to send that to me, sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. But hey, it's better than feeling stress, you know. It's better than feeling worry, you know. And sometimes when I'm sitting in video with my divine team and I'm tuning into them, I've recorded a couple of videos where I said, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. And I realize now that my divine team and the presence of my divine team, when they're there, there's just so much love and so much positive energy that my human form, my physical form, doesn't know what to do but to cry. And I'm not feeling sad, and I'm not feeling overwhelmed, I'm not feeling anything, but I'm feeling such a presence of that energy, that loving energy and that divinity and source energy flowing, that my physical human form cannot contain it. And that's when I've recorded videos in those moments when I go, I don't even know why I'm feeling emotional right now. After I did those videos, I had that conversation with my divine team, and I became aware that my physical form could not contain some of what I was feeling. And it comes out in tears, but it's not sad tears, it's not happy tears, it's just what my physical body does with the energy overflowing, right? It just cries, you know. So you can ask for the energy of whatever you want. Please send me the energy of hope. Please send to me the energy of confidence. Please send me the energy of well-being. You can ask for those things, you know. So I wanted to address that aspect of this person's question in this video. Hopefully that was helpful to some of you. If you have questions about it, or you want to engage in conversation about what we've shared here today, feel free to comment below and I will engage in conversation with you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. So in the process of editing this video, I wanted to throw in this little update. On my 53rd birthday, which was August 4th, I suddenly woke up that day and all of my high energy was back, full force. I literally leapt out of bed and was in high energy all day long. And those of you who are on my email list heard a little snippet of the late night story, that audio story that I shared. And I don't know why. It's interesting. I reached out to a friend of mine who's an astrologist. I'm like, why would this happen like on my birthday? And of course, he replied back saying, well, I'm going to have to pull your charts and all that. I'm like, okay, never mind. Too complicated for Allison. If you got to pull charts, way too complicated for me. AllisonPhillips.tv/simplicity. If it's not simple and straightforward, one straight answer, I lose interest very fast. So I lost interest in the why, but it's just been very interesting, and has my high spirits, high energy, high flying energy has returned. But it's been it's been an ebb and flow. Like there are moments in the day when I'm really high energy and moments in the day where I'm really mellow, and I just kind of float between those two aspects of me, which has always been fun. The other thing that emerged as I'm sharing this is that all of those videos on my old channel that I took down, mostly because I just didn't want to expend the effort to go through which ones resonate with where I am today and which ones don't. And what's also been happening is I would wake up in the morning and one of those videos would just flow through my mind. And I would have this inner knowing, turn the light back on that video. Those are the words that came to me. Turn the light back on that video. And the imagery that I got in my mind is whatever was shared in that video is shining a light in the world, and turn the light back on that one. Which made me think for a moment, what if this is exactly how we're supposed to live? Very little effort, stuff just comes to us, you know? Like all the effort that we expend trying to figure things out, you know? That little example of, I don't want to figure out which videos resonate, which videos don't. That just feels like too much effort. And now they're just coming to me. They're just coming to me. So I will begin to create playlists on this channel that has the videos that resonate for me from my old channel. So if you ever click on the playlists area of this channel, you'll see those. Anyway, that's the little ending that I wanted to share. My high spirits is back, so you can expect either the high energy Allison or the mellow Allison to show up in future videos. That is it for this video. If you feel like engaging in conversation, I am here. If you feel like being completely silent, honor that as well. I know we're on YouTube and you're supposed to have comments, but you know what the other thing that came to me is, and I'm dragging out this video, but our entire civilization is moving toward telepathic communication. We're going to move right back to that because that's who we were before we got into these bodies anyway. And we're going to move back into less words, more energetic connection. So even if there's no words under this video, just feel the energetic connection of what has been shared, and that's enough. I know people think you're supposed to have comments, which is fine. If you guys want to engage in conversation, that's fine too. But if you don't, honor that. Just feel the energy of what has been shared and move with whatever serves you and discard what does not, as I always say. Just wanted to share that. Okay, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in whatever shows up next. Bye.
Thanks everyone for joining me for another video. I just wanted to remind you to take what resonates and discard what does not, because your inner being, soul, and higher self knows what is relevant for you at this point in your human journey. If you'd like to connect with me personally about whatever is going on for you, you can go to AlisonPhillips.tv/connect. If you're looking for more videos and audios, there are some more at AlisonPhillips.tv/downloads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.